Outdoor Adventure Summits the airwaves. This is the Ogden Outdoor Adventure Show. Back for 2019. I'm your host, R. Brandon Long. On belay with you for the next 40 minutes. By my side is the best co-host in all the land, Todd to the top. Hanging out here again at the Gear 30 Lounge. How you doing, Todders? Happy 2019.
Happy New Year, yes.
Yep.
Many good things ahead.
That's right. We have we're going to go back to Bug Huckin. So we got Cole Larsen here. So we'll talk to Cole in just a minute. We have a weekly happy on the docket. We'll tell you everything that's going on in the rest of January, including a little bit in February and some on the radar. In the news, we have some Pow Mow news, Ski Utah news, and a hipster outdoor company that's going out of business. Yeah, it could be the first one, like the death of the hipsters. I don't know what this is.
They're just going to call it something different. It's never going to go away.
That's probably worth watching. And the Gear 30 segment, quote of the week, and an outdoor jukebox. So all of this and more on the Ogden Outdoor Adventure Show episode. Todd, do you have any idea how far along we are on these episodes?
Nope.
320
is
324. 324. Back to Bug Huckin. So let's charge.
He summits with the agility of a mountain goat, flashes routes faster than UPS, is more intimate in the mountains than Jake Gyllenhaal. He's Todd to the top.
Right before we get to Cole, Todd, we found a video of you when you were 8 years old. Riding your bike right here.
Didn't even know you had footage of this. So this
is you backflipping on the half pipe right here. I think you're doing all right. I think you're going to be somebody someday.
I thought I was going to get all sorts of sponsorships, etc.
Yeah. So this is actually 8-year-old Harry Schofield, 8 years old, on every kind of bike you can imagine: motorbikes, dirt bikes, mountain bikes. He is 8 years old. He's 720. He's huge gaps, backflips out of everything. He even backflips using a scooter. There's your 720 in the half pipe. He's 8, crushing it. This is your weekly happy because it's just fun to watch little kids be so good at something so young.
I want to see the comment threads on all of those where it's like, how could you let your 8-year-old do these things?
Hey, he's got a helmet on.
Oh, yeah, he's fine.
And he is athletic. I mean, that kid is good. I watched this morning thinking...
Look at that confidence.
Look at that. Off the bike, really good. And then he hits the mountain bike and he goes down some technical terrain on a mountain bike that will make every mountain biker raise their eyebrow like, ooh, wow. Now he's not just good in the half pipe ramp, the park. He's good at everything.
Okay, that's nuts.
Dropping stairs.
Has he been picked up by anybody?
He's had, I found this on unofficial networks. So I think he's got his career started. I think he's going to be all right. Yeah.
I think he's going to be all right.
I know a safe path for him to go in the future.
He's like, I think I'll finish elementary school at least. And then
yeah, what are the draft prospects coming out of elementary school?
Focus on my career, yeah.
All right, so we are back with Cole Larsen, the new, fresh host of the Bug Huckers podcast. Cole, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys. Good to be here.
Yeah, good to see you. I'm very, very excited to reboot. It's been 2+ years, I think, that we haven't bug hucked together.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I think I was actually on the last episode as a guest.
Yeah.
If I
down by the river
correctly. Yeah, down by the river, down
with
by
Grant,
Walmart.
And that was actually by a bike park.
So it's kind of like a tossing of the baton. Is that it? Like
it was a really slow toss, like a pause for a couple of years, and then
These things take time.
Yeah, Cole. This is exciting. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do some on-air live planning because we don't even have our first one planned out. Like when we're gonna do it. When you good? When should we go for our first recording of the next Bug Huckers?
Well, I've got to talk with our co-host James Young.
James Young.
You guys know him.
He's famous because he works at a fly fishing store.
He's famous just because he's an awesome dude. Even if he didn't work there, he'd be famous. I feel like. And the more I learn about him, he's done some just awesome things in his life. Like he was in training for the Olympics to be a luger back in the day. Like
Well, who didn't though?
That's
I mean,
every
honestly,
day
that's
I
an
talk to
episode
him.
right there. Yeah.
Well, he was like actually competing and stuff. I was like, what? No kidding. So yeah, he would be famous in his own right, even aside from the shop. But I'll talk to him and we'll see what we can do. But I think in the next week or two, for sure, we'll be on board. But exact date to be determined.
Okay, and we're gonna aim for 2 new episodes a month. So look for 2 episodes of Bug Huckin coming out, and the segments are gonna look like hopefully we'll talk about some local fishing, what's going on around here, and then what else you got in mind?
Yeah, we're gonna talk local fishing. What's working. New gear. We're gonna review new gear because fly fishing has just exploded over the last 10 to 12 years, and there's all kinds of new cool stuff coming out. Some of it's good, some of it not so much. And we're going to give honest reviews on that.
Oh, I like that, yeah.
What's the worst thing you've seen over the last couple of years?
The worst thing
Yes, the worst, the gear contraption they tried to get fly fishers to bite on. See what I did with that?
There's a big push right now to handle fish safely and release them, keep them wet. That's a big hashtag in the Twitter and Instagram community. And that's really for... just ensuring the survival of that fish after you release it. And I saw a net that had like a clear plastic bag on the bottom of it. So you could scoop up a big thing of water and have this fish in this, this bag.
In a bag, yeah.
This plastic bag.
Yeah.
I think that's probably...
The cheesy.
The guy who invented it's probably going to hate me, but I don't care. Your thing sucks.
You know what I was thinking? Where
That's what we want to hear.
You were going with that. It was a net, and this was my idea. I'll improve upon it. So the net, but keep it a net, but in the handle, and I get this from because I have kids, and you got the little button you push and it sprays. So then you just in the handle you fill it with water, and so you push the button and it spritzes the fish in the net with some water. So you can be like, oh well, at least I'm getting spritzed with water.
I'm getting a shower.
Yeah. I'll be coming out with that next year.
It's your $500,000 idea right there. Yeah.
I would take even a quarter. So you just got to get a few people on board.
So gear's awesome. Gear, everybody wants to know what's working. How is it cheesy? Is it gonna work? Should I run out and buy it? Am I gonna catch more fish? How's it work? So gear is great. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna field test everything ahead of time. We're gonna put it through the rounds, and then we're gonna give our feedback, and hopefully we can turn some people onto some new good gear that will be beneficial. So
awesome. Okay, what else?
We're going to talk about issues. Everybody's talking about stream access. That's a big issue here, especially in Utah. So we're going to talk about that. We've got people here locally that are involved in the industry. We've got Fly Fishing Hall of Fame members here locally in Ogden. We're going to talk to them. We're going to get out to some different places.
I didn't, but I'm never surprised when I hear about the names that have set up shop in Ogden or somewhere here in the mountains,
It's pretty
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So we'll get to know some of our local anglers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're going to get fishing reports. We're going to talk about some new places that maybe you've never been to, both here locally and, in the surrounding states. It's going to be a really good time. I'm excited to get people engaged.
So Bug Huckers will have its own stream on iTunes and Spotify. And then you can also search the BanyanCollective.com to listen to it, and we'll throw it up on Banyan Collective's YouTube page as well. We have a Banyan Collective or Bug Huckers already has a Facebook page, and I think it already has an Instagram. I just got to go find it because I haven't been on there for a while. So we'll reignite all of those platforms, and if anything, just search the Banyan Collective and you'll find it. And you should be able to search Bug Huckers after the next, after the first episode, because we'll throw up we'll reboot some of the older ones, and then we'll put the new one in because you need 3 to launch a new stream on iTunes, and we'll have 3 episodes for you up there on the iTunes as soon as we do the new one with Cole. So that's great news.
Here in the next week or so.
Going
back to life.
So cool. Okay, so it's warm. Are you fly fishing or are you ice fishing?
Both.
Yeah.
Is that an acceptable answer?
Yeah.
Is option C on the table?
Should it be on the table? It should only be ice fishing.
No
right?
way. Winter is one of my favorite times to get out on the river and fly fish. You don't have as many crowds. You get a nice sunny day where it's a little bit warmer. You get some good midge hatches coming off, and you'll probably have the whole place to yourself. So
are you talking the Weber? Because on Ogden, I drove by there the other day. It looks like there's no water in it.
Depends on which section of the Weber you're on. If you're between Echo Dam down to about Croydon, it's not fishable for the most part. It's all frozen. But below that, where Lost Creek dumps in, and then you've got East Canyon Creek down lower. There's some other smaller tributaries that feed it, and the water does open up, and you can find some good spots.
And how would I find out about those spots?
Yeah. Well, some are secret, or you could tune into the Bug Huckers podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, and then ice fishing, hot spots. What's happening with ice fishing? Is it too warm, or we're good?
We had some good cold weather, and I think we've got a good foundation of ice built up.
Yeah.
This warmer stuff and the snow that we've got is going to put a good layer of slush on top of the ice, but I think it should be safe, just not as comfortable and might be a little wet.
So we were talking about that just for a second earlier. What's your dream ice? How thick? What's it look like?
My dream ice
ice.
like...
You said you'd be able to drive a truck on it.
Yeah, you're looking 8 inches plus, and it's just clear, hard ice with maybe just a skiff of snow.
When was the last time you had that ice?
Oh, like that clear stuff? Last year.
We had that last year.
Yeah, we did up at Pineview. There's people playing hockey and skating around.
Yeah, that was the cleanest I've ever seen ice on Pineview.
It was
and
amazing.
the drone footage was incredible. So
That was some really good footage. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't snow. It just got cold, and I think that's what helps that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As long as you don't have a layer of snow on it to insulate it and kind of melt and turn to slush and get rough, you'll get that good glare ice that you can go and ice skate on and take neat pictures. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Beautiful.
Yeah. All right.
Have you been ice fishing,
Back
Brandon?
to Bug Huckin in a week here. I have never ice. I know you have. I've never
It's been a
ice
long
fished.
time, but it was
no.
We got to
No.
change that.
Yeah,
we
we
will.
will.
Let's
We'll have
get
to do
out.
that.
I'll go hang in a hut with you. You know.
You got a heater and you get a few drinks going, and
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. This is good. This feels like good bonding time. How many dudes can fit? Do you have a hut?
Yeah.
What do you got?
I've
Like-
got a big one.
Yeah?
I've got a big one. It says that you can fit 6. And you could if, you're doing one of these things. But we like to spread out. So I would say 4
Okay.
is the comfortable max.
So James, yourself.
We get the 4 of us
and
up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have a good
I'd love
time.
to.
I like that. This thing is portable. There's a little Zoom here, and we can record some audio in the ice fishing hut. That might be the plan.
Yeah, we've got all kinds of
Okay.
electronics and stuff. It's really high tech. We've got a
You
camera.
have fish finders?
Oh, a fish finder. We've got this
Yeah.
thing called a flasher. We could explain how that works when we're up there. And then I've got a camera. You drop down the hole and you pan it around, and you can actually see the fish.
Can you see like the
down
guy in the next hut over there's like
No.
lying in the water, and
No.
it's like now it comes into ice fishing wars and
Generally,
I like the direction you're going here, though.
maybe we could send something over to.
you
steer
got a
the
little
fish
mini
over,
torpedo thing that goes over, takes the bait, and comes back on. Look,
I haven't
look
been
at-
in
that's
water
just
that
me.
clear
Don't
yet.
even. Okay.
I think it's more of like a brotherhood. I like the way you're looking at things.
I was
though.
like,
It's good.
it's
Yeah.
purely a competition. Like, don't they have ice fishing competitions?
Yeah, they've got one up at Flaming Gorge.
Okay.
To fish for this fish called a burbot. It's an invasive species that somebody dumped in there illegally, and they're just voracious predators, and they wreak havoc on the fish that are supposed to be there.
Yeah.
So they have a big tournament every year. There's an entry fee, but the prizes are just huge. It's thousands of dollars, and they've got gear that they're giving away, and these fish, you have to keep them. You can't put them
I
back.
feel like there's money in fly fishing.
In fly
In fishing. In fishing there is, but is there money in fly fishing?
I mean,
Tournaments? No.
tournaments, no, I don't think there's.
But like
any of that
bass
goes on.
and some of these others, there's like big money.
In the,
Yeah.
the bass stuff there is.
Okay.
But I've never heard of a fly fishing tournament that has money. The closest I've
Okay.
ever heard of that is you've got there's fly fishing competitions, but I don't think there's big money involved. It's there's
think
a
that's
U.S.
probably
fly
a good
fishing
thing.
team, and they compete all over the world.
I don't really know
We've got a guy here locally
who's on it.
who's on that. Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
He
he's
has
down
so
in-
much
he's
to
down in
learn,
Utah.
Brandon.
I know. And Cole's got the voice. You hear that deep baritone in the mic there?
Yeah,
It's-
I'm gonna enjoy this show.
that with the beard. Are you doing the Yeti bash? I think you're qualified.
What's the Yeti bash?
The beard competition at the Yeti Bash coming up on February 1st at the Union Station.
I don't think this is competition worthy. Yeah, I shaved a while back. And
So
And that's the problem.
Maybe
I keep
next
mine a little
year.
too short.
I feel
for that.
I
Kinda.
feel like girth matters, not necessarily length. There's different categories that you can enter, and I think one's like a business beard. You might
beard.
fit in the business beard section.
I think in the very least, like myself as well, it's obviously we're beard enthusiasts, and so just to go and to see, the other beards,
James
to
is
root
rocking
the
a
other
beard too,
beards
I think.
on. I think that's good. So
Yeah,
the
that's
highest
true.
compliment one can give another man is to say, "Hey, nice beard."
Nice beard.
Nice beard.
nice beard.
I love
beard.
it. Cole, I know you got to run, so we'll let you get out of here. But the Bug Huckers podcast kicking off. You can catch the new cast coming up here in just a few weeks. So
There's gonna be so many puns.
all the puns. Yeah. Now we can't be. But shout out to London. So this was London Pope, long childhood friend of mine. It was his. He came up with the name Bug Huckers. He was the initial host of the Bug Huckers podcast, and every word that came out of his mouth, or maybe every other, but had some sort of sexual thing tied
funny
into
guy.
it. But hilarious, right? Like very funny dude. So we'll get him up here in Ogden, hopefully, to be a guest on the show too, just to bring back some love to Bug Huckers and say thanks to him for starting this whole thing. And Cole, thank you for taking the baton a few years late and running with it, or casting it into the water, however
He's
that
been
goes.
busy fishing. I get it.
He's been busy fishing. Yeah. So awesome. Thanks, Cole. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
we'll
sir.
talk to you soon.
Okay. Sweet. Take a quick break. We'll stay live on the FB, and I will message you soon.
We'll be in touch.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks, man.
Have a good one.
See ya.
See ya.
Sweet. Watch the fire. Yeah, the fire's hot. Hot fire. I am really.
I like you laying down the decor here. Look at that.
I'm really excited about the fly fishing coming back, because I was way into it and then we just couldn't stay consistent, and it drifted away fast. It just
That's kind of what happens.
fast.
We know the rules.
But
We know the podcasting rules.
yeah, you like
I
our
think we got it back again.
interior design. We have a fire. We
Yeah,
just need
that's
some
pretty
kindling and set
And then
this
to
thing on
actually
fire.
light it inside.
Yeah.
We just got to get it
Yeah.
going. Yeah.
I think we can pull it off. On the docket, coming up here. Oh, Weber's got an Area 1 course. Let's see, today's Thursday. Why is this? That's tomorrow. Starts tomorrow, Friday. I'm not sure if there's room for that or not. Go to Weber Outdoor Programs. So it's weber.edu/outdoor, I believe, is the website if you want to get in on the level 1 avalanche awareness course. And conditions were horrendous just a few days ago, 3 days ago. There was a couple avalanches up on North Ogden Divide. Learn what to look for, learn how to read snow. Avi 1 is the beginner. It goes up to level 3. So Avi 1 gets you in the door through the outdoor program. It's this weekend. See if they got any spots left. 12th annual Grom Fest up at Powder Mountain is also this weekend. That's on the 12th, along with on Saturday the Lady Wild Film Festival at the Val A. Browning Center for Performing Arts. That is Saturday night from 5:30 to 9:30. Tickets are. I even saw they still had some VIP tickets available for the Lady Wild Film Festival.
I imagine this is going to sell out.
Protect Our Winters Day is the 13th, I believe. So that's Sunday. So Protect Our Winters. Carpool as much as possible. If you head up to the mountains, that's the big push that they would like everyone to sort of put in the forefront of your mind, is to less pollution up the canyons and carpool as much as possible to the mountain. Especially if you like to drive your own car, just try it for a day, and that's this Sunday. Protect our winters. Protect your winter.
Go with your friends. Meet some new people.
Yeah. And then next Tuesday, Snowbasin Dining Discovery. This is every week. Their dining discoveries every week up at Snowbasin there in the Cinnabar. But if you like beer and chicken wings, that is next Tuesday. The Joys. It's actually called The Joys of Beer and Chicken Wings. Now you're sometimes you do eat the meats.
Starting the beginning of 2018, I have started to incorporate it. And it wasn't a fully thought out thing, but it's turned out to be pretty much birds and fish.
Because you were a vegetarian for
like a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. So birds and fish.
And it's not like every day, but you listen to your body, and your body craves some things, and
it's craving
kinda
chicken
what
wings
happens.
and
Yeah.
beer.
Well, you know what it craves more than not is sometimes the social experience of it all.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And you can do that up at the Cinnabar. Starts at 11:30, goes to 5 o'clock at night up there at Snowbasin.
That'd be a fun night.
Snowshoeing with the Weber Outdoor program. They have a full moon snowshoe coming up. They've requested the moon show up on the 18th of January in full.
Has the moon RSVP'd?
So I think we're waiting to hear back, but it is scheduled. It's one of those things where it's interested in the event but hasn't confirmed yet.
I hate the interested button. I hate that interested. I say I hate it. I mean, I do it myself.
It's the one I use all the time, and because you want to keep it on your radar.
Yeah.
But you're not quite sure if you're going to go, so you feel bad committing. Like, well, I don't want them to think I'm actually going to be there. It's a wussy way of giving you an out, right?
Yeah.
And rather
Plus,
than
whoever's
just
putting
commit
the event
already.
together, it's just like, they just want you to commit already.
Yeah.
Just commit already, yeah.
Should
they count on Brandon coming? Because we know he's going to eat like half the food that's
shows
there.
He's interested. And then
if he doesn't show up, then we're going to have extra stuff. We're going to have too many wings.
Here at Gear 30, we throw events. Like we do. And we do van sessions, and we put the event out there, and it's, well, I don't know, man. It shows like 100 people interested, and it really doesn't mean anything. We can get all 100. We can get half, a quarter. We double. I mean,
sometimes it can be more.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Anyway, the moon is interested in showing up that night. That is the 18th with the Weber Outdoor program. Full moon snowshoe hike. I think they're probably going to go to North Fork, but who knows? They can go anywhere. We talked about this earlier with Cole. Wasatch Yeti Bash. Yeti, Beard, and Moustache competition, Union Station from 4 to 8 p.m. You will be there with a booth. They've switched it up. They're not doing like corporate booths this year, so Gear 30 won't be there on Friday night.
Was disinvited.
We were disinvited.
Or never invited.
Right,
I don't know.
We will be out there. They had open arms the next day at the race, so we'll be at the finish line of the race, the fat bike race, which I think is at North Fork Park.
Friday's going to be a busy night.
Friday's huge because it's first Friday. Art Stroll. We got van sessions up at the Monarch, and then Union Station is going to be happening because there's multiple events.
And then aren't they doing a food truck thing at Union Station that night too?
I think so. I do recall seeing a food truck meetup or something.
Yep, and then I'll be set up. I'm going to do a Arts in the Parks Winter Edition booth at the Yeti Bash. We are going to do, we meaning the kids and I, we're going to make little bird feeder things. I think it's going to be like...
Out of what?
Well, it's going to be... Well, the go-to is always like a pipe cleaner type thing and like a Cheerios or something. I don't know. But there's more to it. But we can hang them in the trees and for the winter time for the birds. And so
you can they can take them home with them? And
yeah. That's the idea on most of these projects is that they take them home. It inspires them to be able to do some of these things at home. But it should be a really good turnout. I didn't make it last year to the Yeti Bash and I kind of missed it.
You didn't have a booth last year?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Okay.
This year I do. And so, I don't know if I'll be able to run back and forth between van sessions, so it's going to be a very special night.
Okay, so here's the deal. It ends, so Union Station's supposed to end at 8. And we normally go, like last Friday, we went till almost 10, or did go to 10.
Our first act was at 8.
At van sessions, so depending on how we book it up there at the Monarch, you have time to
at least
go to both. Yeah. Get lit at the Yeti Bash Beard Moustache competition. Walk 25th Street up to the Monarch and come hang out with us at van sessions. It'll be a good time.
I think that sounds like a good night.
SheShreds.co Jamboree weekend up at Powder Mountain. That's on February 7th from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. And then right around the corner, get your tickets now because last year it sold out all 3 days. Banff Center Mountain Film Festival World Tour, sponsored by DOCKET.
For me, that is such a good reminder of how fast this year goes by.
Yeah. You know who's a big sponsor of the World Tour Festival this year in Ogden is Roosters Brewing.
Oh, nice.
They put some chunk of change in there.
We're going to have to talk to them pretty soon. I've been meaning to go to their Brewery B or whatever they call it. I think it is on the west side. Just
west of where we're at.
Yeah, we're going to go check them out.
Peery's Egyptian Theater hosts the festival. 3 days. We go every year, and it is a blast. And then Kristen will be here next week. She couldn't make it today. She is ski joring Utah. She's in charge of this event. So the 2019 ski joring event up at Soldier Hollow on February 22nd. Yeah, you get pulled by a horse on your skis and you go off jumps from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Soldier Hollow. If you have a horse and you want to ride, you want to pull skier, or you're a skier or a snowboarder and you want to jump, shred, ski jor,
It's so much fun to watch.
They did it in Ogden a few years back when we had the Ogden Winter Fest. I don't remember what it was called down there.
It might have been like multiple few years. Like it was some time ago.
It's so fun. It's such a fun thing, but it sucks because in town here the snow doesn't really build up. It builds up on the mountains, and so they got to haul snow in. It just doesn't. It's not really economically feasible to throw.
It looks so cool.
But it is way fun, especially when they're doing it down like behind, like on 25th Street there, where the horses and but this is up behind Park City, right? Is that where Soldier Hollow is? I think
up in that area,
near Park City. That's on February 22nd. And the Turn and Burn, I see a lot of people. A lot of my friends are they've clicked going. Like they're going to the Turn and Burn up at Powder Mountain. It's a slalom race sponsored by, I believe that is Lucky Slice and Solomon Snowboards. The Turn and Burn banked slalom race at Powder Mountain. If you can turn and burn on your snowboard, go enter. February 23rd. You got time to practice. Get up on it. On the radar. April 12th and 13th, 12th annual Ogden Climbing Festival. So it's Friday and Saturday. It might be the 11th and 12th or 12th and 13th. I think it's okay. So we did meet because you were asking me what's the update on. We did meet, but we talked about sort of behind the scenes marketing stuff. Nothing really, but we are. We talked about venue. We can't make an announcement on the venue yet, but we do know the format. If you've been coming to the Ogden Climbing Festival for years, and you'll remember the format where the keynote speaker was the last deal. So last year it was the climbing comp at the front was the closing thing that's on Saturday night. Well, now the keynote will be Saturday night. And so the keynote's Saturday night. The climbing comp and demo will be Friday night. So we'll party Friday at the front with the demo and the climbing comp. And then Saturday we'll do our clinics in the boulder field. And we'll have the keynote speaker in the early evening that night.
Gotcha. For
the 12th annual Ogden Climbing Festival. That's all I got.
Well, we're getting little bits.
It's a little something. Yeah. It's something. All right. So in the news, Powder Mountain and Whisper Ridge are joining forces for a skiing and snowboarding initiative to Weber County. This is according to the Standard Examiner. This is Tim Van Den Ack, the Standard Examiner, writes, two Weber County area ski operations are partnering, aiming to give skiers and snowboarders more options in experiencing the state's rugged terrain and snow. Whisper Ridge, which offers backcountry skiing on 70,000 acres in Weber and Cache counties, and Powder Mountain, the Eden area ski resort that we are all familiar with here, also spills into the two counties. They launched a reciprocal partnership last month. The aim is to create synergies and cross-promote each other's offerings. Powder Mountain is a fantastic partner, said Matt Peterson, an investor in Powder Ridge, which launched in 2015 and hauls clients to remote ski spots via helicopter and snowcats. It's a very complementary relationship. So this will be fun. You'll have more options now to ride both. You have more space to ride. Powder Mountain, within easy driving distance of Ogden, is an established operation in its own right, Peterson said. Add in the Whisper Ridge experience, and we have a world-class partnership. So nothing but good news for skiers and snowboarders locally here.
No, that's always good to hear.
And from out of state.
Yeah.
All right, this has a couple swear words. He drops the F-bomb in it. But I haven't seen this on the news anywhere. There was an inbounds, maybe because it would be scary. Like, it would be really scary if you were this guy caught in it, which is why he drops the F-bomb. But it wasn't in the end like this a big deal necessarily, but I could see how it would be scary. And that was an inbounds avalanche at Powder Mountain the other day. Let me make sure this is the guy who's snowboarding here.
Oh shit!
Drops the S. Oh, there's the F-bomb, and that shows his GoPro is on, and he's in the avalanche here, swearing a little bit.
Oh my god! No way! Yo, that just broke on me. Mother effer. Woo! That was so sketchy!
He edited himself.
Witness avalanche season Be careful. Powder Mountain. We're alive and well. It's all good.
I'm glad he thought to talk back into his
I think
his
Garrett
phone.
handled himself very well.
So there was a press release on this from Powder Mountain. Says, first of all, we're happy to see that Garrett was uninjured in this incident. The Powder Mountain Snow Safety Team did avalanche mitigation in over 60 avalanche paths all over Powder Mountain yesterday, which I believe this was Tuesday. With 25 inches of new snow and high winds, the avalanche classification SSAI D.5-R1 which is the smallest possible rating for an avalanche. It's like getting caught in a 0.1 earthquake or something. I don't know. This specific area has a small rollover with no terrain traps and is a non-suspect area. The debris pile was less than a foot deep. The crown, or the break size, was less than 10 inches. And the overall affected area was about 60 feet wide and 70 feet long. We're proud to have a very competent snow safety team at Powder Mountain encompassing years of knowledge. That said, avalanches and incidents can happen inbounds, and skiers and snowboarders should always be aware of their environment and proceed safely. Is from Powder Mountain. And I remember when I was skiing, I skied at one time. I didn't always snowboard. I skied. I was at Snowbird, and it was a super powdery day that I'm sure everyone was having an awesome time, but I was on DI skis that were probably 15, 20 years old in the early 90s, and I couldn't ski very well, let alone ski powder. And I remember falling. And
Grandma skis probably.
Yeah, it feels like the whole mountain is falling with you. Like you just feel the snow moving a little bit, and it flashes in your mind like, that's it, game over, and I thought, powder could suck it. Like, this is the worst experience ever. Now that
even if it's the most amenable, you're still going to change your ski pants afterwards.
Yeah. So he did pretty good, little Garrett hanging in there. No, but it can be scary, and it can happen inbounds after the type of weather. So just keep that in mind. Also, Powder Mountain, there was a crash on the road, deadly crash on the road. This is from KSL. A man died near Powder Mountain in Weber County after it looked like a semi truck rolled. They don't know yet exactly what caused it, loss of brakes, or we don't know, but that's what they think probably happened. The driver was okay. There was a passenger, 37-year-old male, who was ejected, and pronounced dead on scene. The driver sustained minor injuries and was treated on scene. The investigation is ongoing. Be careful on that road up there to Powder Mountain. That is a steep one. We all know it. Not good. So there is this thing called the government shutdown. I don't know if you've heard.
Yeah, that's still going on.
Yeah. So how many Utah Forest Service employees are out of work? Any guesses on this?
I don't know what that would break down to. Probably have a few.
Yeah, it's a couple hundred. 200 says this is by Katie England, a special to the Standard Examiner. Utah County's canyons and forests are among the areas affected by the weeks-long partial federal government shutdown. UNT Wasatch Cache National Forest, 2.1 million acres, normally staffed by approximately 200 people, according to Dave. Oh boy, Dave's got an interesting last name. Wittekind. He's the forest supervisor.
That's definitely it.
Most of those people have now been furloughed since December 22nd, so they're getting an extended Christmas, New Year's break here, when the government shut down after Congress and the White House could not reach a spending deal. And it sounds like after yesterday's meeting between the parties of the president and the Democrats, it did not go well, and this may continue here. So there's 200 of the finest U.S. Forest Service employees are out of work at this time. Now, moving on to how does this affect the national parks? I thought they were open but not operational. I got an email from Yellowstone yesterday because I'm on their email list, and they the restaurants are open. There's a lot of stuff is open in Yellowstone. Not all the parks, but Yellowstone is one of the biggest. But I feel like I just read an article yesterday. They closed Yosemite because of dangers, and somebody died in the park. This, according to
cleanup was a big part.
Cleanup's a big part.
That stuff's just not happening. Yeah.
And so now, as the partial shutdown of the federal government approaches its third week, national park officials are now taking drastic actions to keep the park sites open. Dave Bernhardt, the acting secretary of the Department of Interior, has directed the Park Service to use funds from recreational fees to support maintenance services, according to a letter. Blah, 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 blah. Members of Utah's congressional delegation, that would be Bishop, Stewart, Curtis, and McAdams, wrote letters to Bernhardt last week asking him to take emergency measures to give additional funding to the Park Service. So they're using the entrance fees, which I'm assuming was not supposed to be used for this. Was supposed to be used for something else to keep the parks sort of going for now. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah, that's always fun.
Probably not so much fun.
Ski Utah has a new partner, beer partner, brewery partner, Bohemia Brewery, to create the ultimate brewski. See that? It's the Brewski Mountain Lager. Brewski.
What kind of beer is that?
BREWSKI. Light-bodied, easy-drinking mountain lager is what they're calling this. There are certain things in life that just work well together. Spaghetti and meatballs, peanut butter and jelly, grilled cheese and tomato soup. Bottom line is, these are classic pairings because one complements the other perfectly. Not to be lost in all these perfect pairings is skiing and ice-cold craft beer. It's often said that the best beer you can possibly have is the one you've earned at the end of a long day skiing. So Ski Utah is looking to capitalize on this notion with their new partnership with Bohemian Brewery. I'm assuming some of the money kicks back to Ski Utah to help fund, but I'm not sure. Very cool. Good stuff.
When was the last time you had a lager, though? I think that'd be like a big glass of water at the end of a day, though. That's about as mild as you can get.
But it tastes good at the end of a hike.
It's cold,
backpack trip,
refreshing.
ski day. Yeah, it's
everybody in the family could drink it.
Because like you get back, you're like, dude, I'm thirsty, but I don't want a water, and I don't want like a heavy beer or a beer with a ton of flavor like an IPA or something. I just want to throw it down. Give me a Peeber or a Bohemian. Yeah,
I can support the local. I'll do that. Yeah.
As we mentioned, avalanches were bad last week here in Utah. They were also bad in Colorado. A skier was killed by an avalanche during an Avalanche 2 safety course. This should have never happened. I'm pissed about it because they knew better and they still went out there, put the students' lives in danger and got one killed. Look, just because you're taking a class from people who should know what they're doing doesn't mean, still use common sense and make your own decisions, and feel free to back out if you are like, this doesn't feel right. This wasn't good. So somebody died. That's not okay. Never a good thing. And then finally, hipster brand, and I say they're a hipster brand because they called themselves a hipster brand. It was they were out of Portland, Oregon, an apparel company called Polar Stuff. Do you remember Polar Stuff or no? Polar, Poler, Polar Stuff. They filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy and laid off at least 9 of its employees. It was founded in 2011, labeled an outdoor industry disruptor for bridging the gap between lifestyle and outdoor categories. It's unclear why Polar is ceasing operations, but the filing shows a significant drop in revenue. Now, this is pretty bad. So, in 2016, they were at $7.7 million a year.
That's respectable.
2017, they dropped from 7.7 to 7.2, so a drop in $500,000. But then in 2017, they went from 7.2 down to 3.6.
That's a big jump.
That's enormous. That's a big deal. So that was in 2018. So last year, so it went 7.7 in 2016, 7.2 in 2017, 3.6 in 2018, and then you file Chapter 11 bankruptcy and start laying off your employees.
And I think it was that year that the owner got this new house. It was around $3 million.
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah,
it was around $3 million house. We're still looking into that. That's
we're not quite sure if that's the reason, but he has a really nice beard and a new wardrobe. I don't know. That's not fair, Todd. They're really nice people, I'm sure.
I'm sure they are.
Anyway, that was according to S News. I think that's all I had as far as news goes. Something worth watching. So this is an odd teaser. Now we're looking at ski season right now.
Yep.
But this is not ski season or ski videos or snowboard. This is a mountain bike from Ant Hill because they're good at doing that type of stuff here. So this is it's called Return to Earth. This is from Ant Hill, and there's really no mountain biking in this minute-long teaser. It's just sort of nature. It's really gentle and nice and easy to watch. You can hear the birds chirping there. There's a rock with moss growing on it. They did the slow motion, fast motion time lapse. Oh, there's one rider, 2 riders. It's that top
It's like
view.
a rainforest almost.
It's very pretty. But good news is, if you're a fan of Anthill and what they do, as TGR is, because I found this on TGR, they're coming out with a new film called Return to Earth.
No one is available to take your call.
Because they're out mountain biking.
Because they're out mountain biking. Yeah. Summer 2019.
Nice trailer. Jeez.
So,
production value on those videos. What's going on?
Presented by Shimano and Trek. So look for that coming up this summer. That is worth watching. Worth watching. In our Gear 30 segment, visit gear30.com. That's spelled out. So GEARTHIRTY, gear30.com. Use promo code OOA at checkout and save how much, Todd?
12%.
12%. Save 12% on your purchase. And online right now, North Face is 10% off. So you can find North Face stuff at 10% off.
So 12% on top of
I'm not saying, but it could be.
the 10%.
Could be. Yeah, you could. Yes. In store this week only until Monday, Icebreaker is 15% off in store, and that's this year's Icebreaker. That is like
I'd
right
say
now.
jump on
Good
that.
stuff.
That stuff doesn't go on sale very often, does it?
Very rarely, and it doesn't. No, it doesn't. And it's a shop favorite. It lasts a long time. Has like a lifetime warranty. Although I do put holes in my Icebreaker, so I got to exchange them because I wear it every day.
Yeah,
but every day after a couple of years. People love, once you own a piece of Icebreaker, you start a collection of it because it's like, oh, I need more of this stuff. So yeah, visit gear30.com, use promo code OOA at checkout, save 12% on your purchase. Again, North Face is on sale online, 10% off right now. Icebreaker, 15% off in store right now at Gear 30 this week. Now, speaking of North Face, they are introducing North Face is funny, man. Like, so there was this perception. Okay, so before I got into the industry, you look at North Face and you're like, oh, that's good stuff. You know, North Face, that's the best stuff. You know, that's what I got at the big box store. And I'm outdoorsy because I own some North Face. And then you're in the industry and you're like, if you got that at the big box store, it's probably not the best North Face. Really, there's brands like Rab and Arc'teryx and Mammut and stuff like this. Yeah. But North Face does and continues to innovate and make really good stuff. You just got to buy the stuff like the specialty stores sell.
Right.
For the North Face that we sell here. Because like I got I wore it today. Is it the something puff? It's I'm thinking nano puff, but I'm not sure. But they did an insulation that they treated like a down, and they blow it into their jacket, and it is freaky good. Like, it's a lightweight jacket and warmer than it should be. It's a great piece from the North Face. Well, now they're going to compete with Gore-Tex, and they've used Gore-Tex. Get this. Let's see, where does it say? I think since 1977. Yeah, Gore-Tex, which dates back to 1977, introduction of the North Face's mountain jacket. So the North Face has used Gore-Tex since 77, and they are now moving away from Gore-Tex. So they will use Gore-Tex in their lifestyle stuff that you'll probably see in big box stores, but in their high-end garments, they're going to use a new fabric that they're calling a game changer. It's called Future Light, and it's using this nanotechnology that's super breathable, and it's supposed to be better than Gore. They claim that it is better than Gore, and that's why they will use it in their high-end technology starting in 2020. So the garments coming out in 2020 will have Future Light and will not have Gore-Tex in it. And I'm telling you, I believe it, just because they killed it with this other down technology. They had this, it's down-like technology. Future Light technology. At the heart of Future Light lies an industrial process known as nanospinning, a polymer that is sprayed through up to 220.
Those are just like they're teeny tiny little DJs.
They're little
DJs.
Little DJs. Yeah, and they have tiny nozzles. And rather than being extruded into a thin sheet of film, as most DJs are, to create waterproof yet highly porous mesh. That's what Gore-Tex is. This construction allows for nano holes,
Little nano spinners,
that allow air to pass through the moisture, and moisture vapor to escape. So it leaves you dry and comfortable, not clammy and cold, is the claim. I don't know, man.
I think that's a big deal.
It is a big deal. Now, there's other nano spinners out there. Polartec uses this technology, and so does NeoShell, and Outdoor Research's Ascent Shell. But Citing stats from TNF-initiated third-party comparison testing, Mellon says that Futurelight outperformed all other nano spinning DJs.
I'm just going to be thinking about that all day. It's just like a little pocket-sized Skrillex.
You never know. North Face, always innovating, always keeping it fun. So good to North Face. Quote of the week: to be without some of the things you want is an indispensable part of happiness. Bertrand Russell. To be without some of the things you want is an indispensable part of happiness. I feel bad for the Kardashians, or maybe there's stuff they want that they don't have. I don't know.
It's all relative.
It's relative.
Yeah. There might be countries they're looking at. I just can't afford that country.
Thank you to Gear 30 for powering today's 324th episode of the Ogden Outdoor Adventure Show. We are live on Facebook, so thank you to those watching us on Ogden Outdoor Adventure Show on Facebook Live. This will be posted as a podcast, and thank you for those of you who listen as a podcast as well. Subscribe to us on iTunes. Leave us a 5-star review, nothing less, please, on the iTunes. Rate and review, but it does help. It does help people find the show. We're up at the Banyan Collective, and we will be up at Ogden Outdoor Adventure. We'll have its own thread here coming up in the next couple of weeks on iTunes itself, but you can rate the Banyan Collective on iTunes, and that helps us out a ton. We're also on Spotify at the Banyan Collective. Chat with us on Twitter if you have some feedback for us, want to be on the show. Hit us up at Ogden Adventure or at Banyan Podcast. Banyan is busy. Banyan's going to have a big 2019. We got a trailer, 1960 Aristocrat. That when you see it, Aristocrat probably doesn't come to mind, but that's the brand. That's what it's called. And that is our new permanent podcast studio inside the Monarch building. And we are super stoked to activate the space. We're premature. The building is not actually open yet to the public or to renter, leasees and stuff.
A little right
so
now,
the trailer is definitely squatting behind. You can see it though if you drive 25th Street and you peek down the alley there
that kind of long drive back to the garage.
Yeah, you know where the Monarch mural is.
Yep.
Was it Monarch and Moda? Is that what that is? And so there's a gap. There's a little alleyway there before the building starts, and there's a garage door at the end of that alley. And behind that garage door, behind that, it's see-through. You can see
Banyan 1.
Banyan 1. Banyan 1 is there right behind the garage door. The personalized license plates are on order. Got it approved through the Utah DMV, and we should have them within a couple of weeks. So trailer will have its own personalized Banyan 1 plates on there. If you haven't seen it, check out the Facebook page. We have some pictures up there at the Banyan Collective. So it'll be good. All right. Sifting through hours of crappy music so that you don't have to. You know what I was on last night was a punk kick. So this is a little bit of punk from the Frank Turner out there.
Frank.
You know Frank?
I don't know.
Okay, Frank Turner. I am disappeared. We're going to disappear right now. It's the end of the show. As John Muir would say, mountains are calling and we must go.
Let's go.
I keep having dreams.